How we doing, guys? Welcome to the preview and the predicted lineup. Arsenal against Newcastle tomorrow night. Really random kickoff time. What on earth is that all about? But anyway, it's Newcastle, and I tell you something, we owe them one big time. We remember what happened at St James's Park earlier on in the season. Let's not even talk about the ball being out of play. Let's talk about the foul, the clear foul. And it just wasn't given. And that was our first defeat of the season. Let's talk about Guimaraes and his antics and the elbows to Jorginho's face and everything else. And the get up and everything. The little rat. I want to shove 3 points down their throat tomorrow. I'll tell you that for something. We already know what's going to happen with Newcastle. We already know how they're going to approach the game. And it will be identical to the one that we had at the Emirates last season, where they park their coach, they park all their cars, absolutely everything in front of goal. Because that's what it was. It was a backs to the wall job. Opening 5 minutes of the game, if I remember rightly, at the Emirates last season, Newcastle went to go toe-to-toe with us. Bukayo Saka started roasting Dan Burn and everything else, and they went, whoa, hold on a minute. Can't go up against this. No, revert back. Everybody behind the ball, frustrate the life out of them. And that's exactly what they did. And that's exactly what they're going to do for this game. They're going to sit deep. They're going to try and counter, and they're going to try and frustrate us. They're going to use horrible tactics. They're going to kick us. We know what's going to happen with the likes of Joe Linton and Guimaraes and Gordon and all these players. Nah, you know what's going to happen. But we need to rise above it. We need to remember exactly where we are, what we're fighting for, not get caught into that, be patient, and if we get the goal and go 1-0 ahead, then it completely changes the complexion of the game. I do feel that in this kind of game, you probably need an earlier goal because it changes everything instantly. It gives them nothing to hold on to. Since they've had the issue with the goalkeeper, which is really interesting, I see a statistic, they've actually conceded 27 goals. Which is a record in the league, and it's mad. And like, they've always got exciting games, but I cannot for the life of me see Newcastle turning up to the Emirates and going, okay, let's play expansive football, let's be exciting, and let's see if we can outscore Arsenal. Because if you do that, they're just going to get beaten. It's as simple as that. Interesting statistic as well is that Arsenal have won their last 20 games, or they're unbeaten in their last 20 games directly after a European match. That's actually really good. We already know that it's normally difficult, going into games after European matches as well. And I know that a lot of those would have been after Europa League matches, but in some ways that could be more difficult because you was always playing on a Sunday after the Thursday night games. But even this season, after Champions League games, we've responded immediately. And what we need to do is respond after that performance, result, and everything in general from Wednesday night. At the end of the day, with that game, it's half-time. It's 1-0 to Porto. Cool. We know what we did wrong. We know we were poor. And we know what we need to do to get it right. Since we've come back, from the break in Dubai and the turn of 2024, we have been immaculate in the Premier League. And the results speak for themselves. The last 11 meetings at the Emirates, Arsenal are unbeaten. They've actually won 10 of those and only drawing the one, which was the 0-0 last season. So we've got everything in our favour to look at and say, we should be confident going into this game. Newcastle sit 8th in the Premier League. Don't get me wrong, they're a dangerous side. They can, cause problems. But at the same time, we've got enough there to say home advantage as well. We've got enough, more than enough to be able to take care of business. Now, when you're looking at the, Premier League table and you're seeing Man City and Liverpool and everything else, Liverpool, of course, are not playing this weekend in the Premier League. They've got the Carabao Cup final. And I actually initially, earlier on in the week thought, okay, it's an opportunity to get above Liverpool and play a game, where they're not going to be playing and whatnot. But they go and play Luton on Wednesday night. So this is actually a game in hand. And we've got to win it to go back the 2 points behind. I think it's in the next couple of weeks or so that we start to play some games before the likes of Liverpool and Man City to see if we can get the victory, we can go top of the league, and we can start to put the pressure on them. Because at the moment, it always seems like we're playing behind Liverpool and we're always having to catch. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Man City, you're looking at them away to Bournemouth, I think it is. You've got to say that, they're going to get the 3 points in that one as well. Of course, they played against Brentford in midweek as well, and they won that one, only 1-0. And when you look at the winning goal as well, with 20 minutes to go, and the way that the Brentford defender fell over, it's like, my word, how on earth are you doing that, and why are you doing that? But yeah, Man City's last, couple of Premier League games, or even 3 games, shall I say, before the Chelsea when they were playing Everton, it took them till the 70th minute, to break them down and get a goal. So it shows that at the moment you might need to be patient. We're getting to that part of the season where, patience is key, and you might have to wait a little bit. You look at the game last week against Burnley, we went 1-0 up inside the first couple of minutes, and then we had to be patient, and we didn't get the second goal until near the end of the first half. Come out at the start of the second half at 2-0. It's a completely different game. We score early, it's 3-0, it's game over, and we can all go out and just enjoy ourselves. So yeah, I feel that an early goal is important in this game. That is the thing for me. An early goal is important. So listen, we've got some players returning from injury. Zinchenko, Jesus, Thomas Partey, no Tomiyasu still. But yeah, look, listen, this is what I feel that Mikel Arteta will go with. In goal, David Raya. Very simple. I've looked at the goal over and over from Wednesday night. I'm still in the middle, really. It's an unbelievable effort. When you see one of the angles and how far out it was and the way it bent in, it's mad. Sometimes we've got to give the player credit for, scoring the goal rather than the keeper. But yeah, his positioning just felt a little weird. I don't know, but I'm not a goalkeeper. But listen, David Raya's in goal. Right back, Ben White. Very straightforward decision, and he starts the game. Right back, William Saliba. Didn't have the greatest of games on Wednesday night, but I expect him to be back, to his normal self. Left centre-back is Gabriel, and very straightforward one. Left back, Zinchenko, comes straight into the side for me. If he's fit and available, he comes in. I don't think it's as much of a risk as what it would be with Partey and Jesus, who I don't think will start. And I just feel that with the way Newcastle are going to play, and that we need to get that extra body in there, and the way that Zinchenko can help with that inverted side of things. We saw on Wednesday that Ben White was trying to do it, and it just doesn't work. Not in the way that it does with Zinchenko. It's key to unlocking, low blocks and everything else. So for me, Zinchenko goes in there. In front of the back line, I'm going to bring in Jorginho for this game. Again, a player with a very calm head, very composed on the ball, and can pick the passes at the right times. And I feel in this game, it's going to be important. That's why I will have Jorginho in there. On the right-hand side, Bukayo Saka, it's very, very evident, very, very near enough 100% that Newcastle are going to double up on him, treble up on him. That's what they did last season when you had the likes of Joe Linton and everybody hounding him on that side. And I don't expect it to change, because if you leave Bukayo Saka one-on-one with Burn, then it's going to be a long evening. But he starts. Alongside him, Martin Odegaard. Need to see the performances that I've seen of late in the Premier League, because they've been exceptional. Next to him, Declan Rice, more advanced, can be more of a threat, with the likes of Zinchenko behind him that will invert, and then obviously Jorginho and everything else. I feel that this suits us perfectly. On the left-hand side, Martinelli. Need to see a hell of a lot more than what I saw on Wednesday. But I do agree with some analysis that I see that our system and the way that we're playing, and very right-sided, is not really playing to his strengths, and he is struggling in certain areas. But yeah, he can always be a problem. And if I had to weigh up between him and Trossard, then I'm not putting Trossard in there. I feel that Martinelli will be more of a threat with his pace, because we've got to try and stretch Newcastle and pull them out of their position. So that's my thought process behind that. Up front, as the striker, Kai Havertz, false nine, whatever you want to call it. Gabriel Jesus, I feel, will be on the bench. Given the fact his injury is a persistent one that's just kind of niggled him throughout this season, going right back to last season when he picked it up, during the World Cup. And I just feel that he will be brought back in gradually over the next couple of weeks. And probably by the Champions League second leg game in 3 weeks, he will be 100% firing and ready. But yeah, for me, Kai Havertz will start this game. Newcastle are a very big side, and I feel that he's going to be crucial to winning a lot of the aerial duels and, bringing a bit of that physicality in there as well. I know it seems strange mentioning Kai Havertz and physicality, but he has shown that he can mix it up and do that as well. So that's what I'm going to go with. So listen, there we go. That is it for the preview and the predicted lineup. As usual, let me know in the comment section what you think about that lineup, what you think the score will be, and how you think the game will pan out. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.